Hello, welcome everybody. This is me, Junaid Niazi from Miawali, Punjab, Pakistan. I am a freelancer and agriculture economist. Today, I have such a nice guest on the line. His name is Mr. Richard. He is from USA. So, first of all, Mr. Richard, thank you very much for your time. And can you please tell me a little more about yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Richard Kaufman. I am known as the Comeback Coach. I am a top 0.5% podcast host, two-time top selling author, speaker, coach, and I help people that are struggling in life or business. And right now, we our podcast has over 1.5 million downloads, and I'm so grateful to be able to come on your show and hang out with you today.
That's great. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So let's head toward our next question. So basically, can you share more about your military journey, including the different roles you had and the missions you were involved in during your 23 years of service?
Well, my my main job, I was a tank commander. I joined when I was 17. I got retired at the age of 40 something. So I did 20. I grew up in the military. I had a lot of great times. Traveled the world, got to meet a lot of great people, travel a lot of great places. Um, didn't have many great missions. Nothing to really speak about. I mean, I had a great time, traveled, but nothing to really talk about, like as far as missions go. But I think the military taught me how to be a better man, to better be a better husband, to be a better father, and to be a better business owner.
Let's head toward our next question. Uh, what was the transition like for you from military service to civilian life, and how did your military experience shape your career at GNC?
For me, it was a very hard transition because I got thrown out of the military the first time for being a drug addict and alcoholic. And then I got back in the second time, was almost about to be thrown out again. But because of what happened on the morning of 9/11, changed my whole life and my total career. And that's when I made a choice to become the ultimate soldier, which I did. I became soldier of the year. But then after I got hurt on duty and lost my vision, and that's when it led me to uh, commit attempt suicide on Labor Day 2012 because my whole life up to that point was being Sergeant Kaufman, and then no longer being Sergeant Kaufman was something really hard to swallow. So I
It
had to
was it was a
reimagine.
difficult time. It was a difficult time of your life.
Yeah, and I had to, you know, reimagine and reinvent my life. And that's when I started working with GNC. That's when I started the podcast. I wrote my book because of a lunch meeting I had with Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk, or also known as Gary V. I had to reinvent and change my life. So that was a very difficult time for me, but it taught me, being in the military, how to run a business, how to uh, be disciplined, how to get anywhere I go. I'm always a half hour early. I always stay late for everything just in case I can get more knowledge or meet more people. It taught me how to, do the hard stuff first thing in the morning, and then the rest of the day, then I could do the rest of my stuff. Because a lot of people put off doing the hard stuff until the end of the day, and they never get it done. Where the military taught me, excuse my language, but they taught me get the hard shit done the first thing in the morning, and then the rest of your day is easy. So the military taught me a lot how to be a businessman and how to be a better man. Period.
Great, great, sir. Great to hear that. So, as I told you before, that it was a very difficult time, but you learned many things. So, the next question I will head toward is how did you apply the skills and discipline you gained in the military to your career at GNC? And what advice do you have for veterans transitioning into civilian employment?
Well, first, I would, if you're going to get out, because it's something I talk about on my podcast a lot, is you have to find your mission again. You have to find what you love to do. Because, like, I love
Mhm,
podcasting. This is what I do full time. I have 6 interviews today. I've done over 1,000
mhm.
interviews, but I think if you find what you love, then it's never like working a day in your life. You got to put in the reps. You got to put in the work. But if you find what a mission again and find what you love, then you're going to be able to become very successful because you love what you do. And if and find something that whenever you're alone with your friends that you're always talking about, if you love that, find something to do with that industry. And I think a lot of people they don't love what they do. They just go to a job to make the money, to get the benefits, but they're not feeling fulfilled inside. And I think anybody that wants to be successful in life, you have to love what you do and you have to trust the process and enjoy the process.
Mhm. Okay. And you have overcome challenges like substance abuse, traumatic brain injury, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Could you share some insights into how you managed to overcome these obstacles and achieve 32 years of sobriety?
Yeah, the article I sent you was a couple years old, but I'm about to celebrate my 35th anniversary on January 1st, New Year's, of sobriety without having a drink or a drug. But for me, my everything started to change when my mentor, Mr. Ed Milet, he told me that nothing in your life ever happened to you. Everything has happened for you, and that everything is a teachable moment. So whatever happened in my life, made me the man that I am. Whatever decisions I've made took me to this moment at this time to be on your podcast. And I think once we realize that everything in our life, every decision we've ever made has brought us to this moment right now, that's when we can decide, okay, well, things were bad, but they happened for a reason. And now my mess has become my message. So for me, that's the way I look at it, that nothing's happened to me. It all has happened for me.
That's great, sir. That's great. That was nice lines. I will always remember, and I will imply on my life as well.
Yeah, it
so,
works for me. It
my
works for me. So
okay, I got it, sir. So let's head toward the next question I have. Can you tell us more about your role as the comeback coach? What motivated you to take on this role, and how do you help others facing similar struggles?
well, during this time that I was with GNC, I was with GNC on and off with for 30 years. I helped people that players from the NBA, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, the NFL, the WWE. I helped a lot of people come back from injuries. And then when I had my own injury, I had to help myself come back. And that's when I started to say, you know what? There's somebody out there that's struggling
Yep.
just like I was. And there's not
Yes,
a lot of
yeah,
people you can,
everyone is struggling from different aspect of life. Yes, I got.
and unfortunately, anybody from the CEO of the company all the way to the janitor, they're all struggling with the same stuff, just on different
Mhm.
levels. So for me, I decided, hey, if I've come back from drug addiction, alcoholism, homelessness, PTSD, blindness, then I can help others come back. And a lot of times it's just having somebody in your corner that knows, hey, you're having a rough day. It's okay. We'll get through this together. So for me, it's more of just letting people know that it's okay not to be okay and that you're not alone. And that if you need me, I'm here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until you can. until we can get you healthy enough to be on your own. And then, of course, if you're a friend of mine, you're never alone. So that's how I started the Comeback Coach. That's how I started the book and the podcast. And now that's what I do today. With now, I actually just launched a course on last Monday about how to start, monetize, and then also profit on starting a podcast. So that's what I do
Yes,
now.
and yes, and in our country, Pakistan, people, a lot of people are starting their podcast and doing interviews and having different sessions, different topics. So it's become a good business as well. So your podcast success, your why powers your how, and is quite popular. What inspired you to start the podcast, and how do you choose your guests? Additionally, can you tell us about your book, A Hero's Journey from Darkness to Light?
Yeah. Well, I just got recognized yesterday that our podcast is one of the top 10 veteran podcasts in the world. Um, but that's I had two podcasts. One was called Success Your Why, Power Your How. My new podcast is called Vertical Momentum Podcast. And that's the one that's in the top 0.5% of all podcasts in the world. And with over, 1.5 million downloads. And we got 20 sponsors on our show too. But for me, I don't. I used to have to go find guests. I don't find guests anymore. Now they find me through booking agents. So I don't do that anymore unless there's somebody that, like, if you have me on your show, I'm going to have you on my show. That's just the way that I do things because I'm going to show you the appreciation and the respect for you having me on your show. But or if I see somebody that maybe has a new book out, a new movie out, or something, I'll invite them to come on the show. Other than that, I don't even look for guests anymore. I mean, I have 300 episodes that I haven't even released yet, and I'm still doing
Great.
six episodes a week recording. So I'm a busy, busy man.
Oh, you are a busy person, and it's very tough. It's not easy.
No, but a lot of people. I know. I talk to everyone. Actually, I'm talking to a young lady. She's going to sign up for my course this week. That the average podcast lasts only 13 episodes, and then it's over. That there's everybody says, I want to start a podcast, but there's so many out there. But there's 4 million podcasts out there right now, but only 400,000 of them are actually active and have released an episode in 6 months. So
Oh.
if you go past 13 episodes, you're in the top 10% in the world of podcasting.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Uh, Balancing a career and personal struggles and family life can be challenging. How do you manage to balance your responsibilities and maintain a strong connection with your wife and three children?
All right. I love the way you actually write out all the questions. I think that's awesome. So for me, I say no a lot. And I think that if you want to be successful in life, you have to learn how to say no. And for me, this is the way I look at things.
It's very it's very difficult to say no. No is very difficult. So yes, that's the right point. You are going to the right point. Please let us know about this.
But because if you're going to hit your goals, you can't say yes to everything. Like if I'm going to have a happy marriage with my beautiful bride, I can't say yes to going out with another woman. I can't do it. I can't do both. So I say no. That I love my wife. I love my bride. Also, for me, the way I run my life is if it's not the way my priorities are, it's God, family and friends, and business. If it doesn't have to do with those three, I don't have time for it. I will say no. Most of the time, I say no because if I'm not working on my relationship with God or my family or my business, I'm too busy. I don't have time to, because we only have so much bandwidth in this world. And a lot of us, we get so busy doing other things that we don't do the things that are going to make us successful. So if you want to be a good father or a good husband, make sure you spend that time with your wife and your kids. And for me, as we were talking about earlier, I use Calendly. I go by my calendar. I write everything in my calendar. Even if I'm going to go play video games today, I'll block out 1 hour. But everything I do is blocked out and scheduled. Even time with my kids, my wife, everything is blocked out because what gets measured gets cut. So, guys, if you are not blocking out time for the ones that you love, and something that one of my friends, David Meltzer, had when he had me on the show, he said, you either appreciate what you have or you're going to miss what you had. So make sure you block out time for your family, your family, your friends, and your business, and let everything else go. Because if it's not going to get you where you're going, don't even mess with it.
Oh, great, great, great. So it was a great explanation. It will, if someone will hear this properly, definitely he will get something. And if he will follow, he will get success, and he will do best. So let's head toward our next question. Uh, Despite the setback with your site, you have remained dedicated to various ventures. Can you tell us more about these recent ventures and how you stay motivated in the face of challenges?
All right. All right. So I lost 80% of my vision about 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And it made me come to realize, I'm going to be 55 coming up next month. And I realized that we're only here on this earth for a very small amount of time. And we have to make every day count, every minute, every moment count. So that's what I try to do is I try to live every day to make it count because time goes by so quick. I was your age once. Now I could be your dad, So, but for me, it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like, I know I have the average American male lives to 78 years old. So I know I got about 23 years left. So I want to make sure every single day, every minute, every moment, every conversation counts. That's why I don't have a lot of time for other stuff because I'm focused on my legacy. And for me, writing my book, I'm actually writing in the process of writing two books. I just launched a course. My other book, A Hero's Journey from Darkness to Light, is still selling amazing. So for me, it's everything I do is about changing the world one day at a time. So a lot for everything. Like when I had lunch with Gary V, and I said, Gary, give me something that I can take home and use. He said, your legacy will always be more valuable than your currency.
Oh, great lines.
So that's what I'm thinking, guys. Money is going to come and to go, but what is your legacy? What is your family going to say about you? And did you change the world when you finally close your eyes for the last time? And that's what I worry about every day is, am I changing the world? Am I making this world a better place than when I first got here?
Oh, great, great, sir. So, thank you very much, Mr. Richard, for being here in my interview. And I believe if someone is like if someone taking interest, as I belong from a country where people speak in Urdu, it's our native language. So if they are facing from any problem you faced, and if they are getting through your interview and they have proper concentration on it, I believe they will get something and good knowledge as well. Thank you very much, sir. Have a blessed day.
I love it. I just want to offer something to you. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but if somebody's watching this And if they want to get my book, I'm going to send it to them for free through email if it'll let me. So if they're interested in getting my free book, it's normally $11, but because I'm on your show, they're going to get it for free. And then I'll also offer a free 15-minute coaching call for anybody that's struggling with any mental health issues.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard.
Thank you so much for having me.